And good morning. We're ready for our English lesson. We're going to be on lesson 7. Okay, so today we're going to learn something called prepositions. Now, I can't remember if we talked about prepositions in 4th grade or not, but prepositions are really easy, but prepositions are exactly like riding a bicycle. At first, it's really awkward, and you're like, that's a preposition? What's a preposition? How do I find a preposition? What do I do with prepositions? But then after you learn them, it just becomes second nature, and you just know them. In fact, you can't hardly even read or say a sentence without, in your mind, thinking, oh, that was a preposition. So, prepositions, just think of them, there's just like riding a bicycle. So, like I said, at first it might be a little awkward. Okay, look at page 13 in your English book. At the top, there's a green box that says common prepositions. Okay, now that's not all the prepositions there are. There are a ton of prepositions. Are you going to have to memorize them all? No. You'll learn how to recognize them, and then you'll probably just have them memorized. Now, but those prepositions are the more common ones, the ones that we see most often. Now, what does a preposition do? Well, I'm glad you asked. A preposition tells the relationship between a noun or a pronoun and the other words in a sentence. So, what does that mean in English? Well, if I were to hide a penny somewhere in the room and I said, and then I found it over there under the book, I might say, I found a penny under the book. So let me type that sentence here so you can see it. Sometimes it's going to be easier when you see it. Okay, so I found a penny under the book. Okay, so in this sentence, what's the verb? Found. Okay, the subject is I found. Okay, I found what? Penny. Okay, well, what's the relationship of penny with everything else in the book and the I found it and all that? Under. I found it under the book. Now, you might say, oh, so a preposition tells where? Sometimes, but not always. But that's a good way to start out thinking about it. But if you'll look at those common prepositions, so let's think about the word through. How about if I said this? What if I said, Mom drove through the storm? Whoop. Okay, so in this sentence, our preposition is through. Now, you might say, oh, that tells where. Yeah, it kind of does tell where, but basically what it does is it brightens the sentence. It gives a relationship between everything. Okay, so Mom drove. Okay, what about? Well, she drove through the storm. So it gives more detail. It kind of tells about Mom and what she did, when she did it, and where she did it, and how she did it, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what prepositions do. All right, so let's look at the guided practice. Basically, it says on 1 through 8, you're just going to underline every preposition that you see. And most of them are just going to have one, but it says, in the directions, it says one sentence has 2 prepositions. Okay, so I would like for you to pause this and do 1 through 8, find all your prepositions. You might want to read the green box so that your mind, and you might even want to read them out loud. That way your mind can click when you see it. Then go through and find all your prepositions, okay? And then turn it back on and we'll go over that. Okay, are you ready? Number 1, across. Number 2, at. Number 3, into. Number 4, of. Number 5, for. Number 6, with. Number 7, to and for. Number 7 had the to. And number 8 is in. Okay, those are all prepositions in those sentences. All right, now, on numbers 9 through 14, there's no way that I can check those because all your answers will vary. But basically, you're just going to go through and you see those prepositions in that yellow box at the bottom or orange, whatever color that is at the bottom on the right. you're going to use those to fill in your answers on the rest of the guided practice, okay? Then your assignment is to do the exact same thing on page 14, and I do want you to do the apply and write, okay? All right, this is super, super easy. So make sure you read that green box of prepositions. Read it out loud, maybe twice or even 3 times, so that you can start memorizing those prepositions and learning how to recognize them when you see them, okay? All right, that is all for today.